Welcome to Baka-Talk, the podcast where we talk about anime, manga, and everything else. Pyrolis, why are you laughing? As we were starting
I remembered a thing from High School DxD.
Oh, okay,
You
cool.
saw it season 1. You remember the guy that dresses up in a tutu?
Yeah.
I was remembering some of his lines.
Okay, that's a ball being dropped. Anyways,
That doesn't help.
well, that's Pyrolis, our local degenerate.
Hook her up, sweet.
I'm gonna have to bleep that. And
Is that a bad word?
well, it's I don't know. Anyways, and I'm also joined by Weez.
Hi, welcome to Look Behind You. Today
What?
we're talking about
No.
the most terrifying
No, stop.
monster of
Stop.
all,
There's a
the
phone back there.
IRS.
That is pretty scary. He's got a point there.
Oh wait, wrong podcast. Hi, welcome to Baka-Talk.
I'm sorry, that's what we're
I'm
doing
Weez.
next for behind. Look behind you. We're doing the
Just
IRS.
just IRS horror stories.
That's gonna be
They
amazing.
took all my money and then I forgot to pay them back and now I'm in jail. Oh my goodness, that's terrifying.
And it's so real.
I think that's how they got Al Capone, wasn't it?
That is how they
yeah,
got Al
tax
Capone.
evasion. He actually liked being around where we live. He had multiple mansions, and one of the mansions actually had a trap door to a secret get out that would go over a lake, where he could travel across the lake and get away from the cops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I worked across the lake from the house, so it's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, how's everybody doing this week?
Well, I'm alive, Weez is alive, and Boom is alive.
I am not alive.
I'm slightly sick.
You're always sick.
You are
I
always
am
sick.
always
That
sick.
is literally like, whenever you come here, you're like, I'm sick.
I sick whenever I sick. I get sick whenever the weather changes.
That's called
That's constantly.
allergies.
And the weather changes all the time. No, I get sick because I get too cold. Like if it goes from like
Or it gets
warmer
too
to
hot.
colder, I get a cold.
And then when you get
Even if it's
Too
in the
hot.
like the middle of the summer and it starts getting cold.
He's a frail, fragile little boy.
I guess so.
If I get too hot, then it's not. I just don't sleep well. And then I get sick because I don't sleep. That's what happens.
He's just fragile.
So you need a better immune system.
Yes.
Why don't you just take like I don't know vitamins?
Vitamins, I guess I could.
You guess you could.
I guess I could, but then I'd have to get them. I'd have to take them, and
Oh boy, you won't get sick if you do this.
I don't
And
know.
it's
I
too
inject
much
so
work?
much stuff into my
Hey, Weez.
bloodstream, like taking another pill just sounds a little scary.
There's a simple solution.
Yeah.
So my body temperature is a complete constant when I'm asleep.
Yeah. How do you do that?
I was just more of saying we could cuddle together.
No.
Why not? I'll keep your body at a constant, like 75
See, my
degrees or something.
problem. Okay. My problem is like
See, he's thinking about it now.
No. I'm trying to explain this, but it's just gonna end up being worse in your mind. And my problem is that my body stays warm because I have blankets on, but my face gets cold.
Why don't you wear a mask?
I could wear a mask, but that sounds
Like
uncomfortable.
one of those like fluffy eye masks.
But my nose and mouth gets cold.
Okay, just put a pillow over your
Why
face.
don't you just
I could, but
keep
then I
the
can't breathe.
entire-
My dad literally sleeps with a pillow over his face because his
can't-
face gets cold.
I can't breathe. Then.
When I used to have that
Put a
issue,
hole in the pillow.
What I started doing is I have this little heater though, so I turn on the heater at night.
and just point at your face.
No, I just have it in the room, and then it keeps the room a little bit warmer. My parents have the house at freezing cold at night.
Oh,
You could
Yeah.
have the blanket over your head.
yeah, you could.
I could, but then I can't breathe.
Not
Put a
just a
hole in the
thin
blanket.
Then there's a hole in the blanket, and it's gonna freeze my face.
Better than a hole in the pillow. That was
What?
my last suggestion.
What you could do is just use that money that you've been saving up as a down payment for me. Like, give me the money, I buy us a house, you live there, you get to control whatever the temperature is, and I'll pay you back slowly.
Nah, I'm
What?
good, thanks.
Oh, you just want to get a house.
I do.
Oh, okay.
At this point, I just want a house.
Yeah.
Man.
So besides for Weez being sick
Yeah.
and Pyrolis, well, Pyrolis being Pyrolis,
I'm always sick in the mind.
what you guys been up to for last week?
Nothing interesting. I did all my interesting stuff last week. Except
Oh.
this week, I watched an anime. I mean, I watched 4 episodes of an anime because that's the
Wow.
only episodes that were out.
You watch an anime
I know,
for once.
it's amazing. I actually watched some anime.
It's almost as if we do an anime podcast and we don't watch anime.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, I worked today for a couple hours on an anime video.
About what?
Monster.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Yeah.
Again? Did
Yeah.
you already do 2 of them?
I did 2. I'm doing a 3rd one. And probably another one.
Wow.
Although the last one's more just about a specific character, not really about the show.
Oh, okay.
But
Cool.
yeah. I did 3 videos about ReZero.
Oh, no, that's true.
Yeah.
How about you, Pyrolis? What did you do this week?
I finished Overlord. Well, I watched and finished Overlord Season 3.
Oh my goodness.
I played Minecraft, watched some Danmachi Season 2. I read some more manga by that every single day. I was actually doing that a little bit ago. I played some Exanima.
Some what?
Exanima. I was telling you about it earlier. So Exanima, it's basically like the perspective of Diablo in the game style of Dark Souls, but like not like either of them. It's the one video I showed you with the one guy I like. The guy where like it's the overweight character that wakes up in the puddle of pee-pee.
What?
You remember that video? He like falls in a chair and
Oh,
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing that.
That game looked really hard.
It is.
Cool.
I love it. You die, doesn't matter where you're at. You unless you get to the next floor of the dungeon, you just restart.
Oh,
Huh.
wow. That's cool.
Dang.
Yeah. Other than that, I've been working, slaving, loving every day. Other than the love part, and then I'm trying to get a kiln.
A kiln
A kiln.
for baking your guns?
Yeah.
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 Nice.
It's hard to come by when you don't have much money.
How much is a kiln?
At least $1,000.
Wow. That is a lot.
Yeah.
And that's just like for a small kiln, or is that like for a big kiln?
It's for a small one.
Okay. So what is a kiln for people that don't know what it is?
A kiln is a thing that gets really hot. You can get gas, electric, or not. It stores up heat, and you basically set it so that way it stays at a heated temperature. I need one that can get 800 to 1,000 degrees for like an hour, and then I need to do that again, except for at 450 to 500 for an hour.
So you need one with very adjustable heat range and something that can get very hot.
Yes.
Because I don't think the average stove can get 1,000 degrees.
What I have to do currently is I have to take a torch and torch the specific holes and areas until it's cherry red.
Yeah.
Dunk it, torch it, dunk it, torch it, dunk it. And then I put it in an oven at 450 for an hour. The issue is that I do not have an oven anymore
Why is
because
that?
no one's allowing me to use an oven.
Oh, nobody lets you use the oven?
No, I made my first rifle in my oven at home.
Oh.
But that was when I was home alone, so there was no one to stop me. And so no one told me no.
Yeah.
I tried, because I didn't think that was, it's just metal going in an oven.
Yeah.
Apparently, some people have issue with that. So
Huh.
I could not use the oven for that purpose.
Oh, okay. Well,
And,
sorry. You could use my oven.
No offense, I don't really want to drive 30 minutes out here.
I mean, I get that. I'm just offering the. You
Thanks
can
for
use
the
my
offer,
oven.
but that's why I haven't asked you. I don't really want to drive 30 minutes.
Pyrolis just takes your stove, puts it on his back, just like, thanks, and walks out the door.
I don't even know if you could remove my oven.
It's a gas oven.
Well,
It's gonna be hard to remove.
I know how to remove a gas stove. I don't know if you
You
can
just
the
keep
way it is
running
in
the
house.
gas
No, I'm
line
saying
as
it's
you're
hard
walking
to-
down the road.
Just extend the gas line as it goes.
Just Minecraft it.
And it's call you, hey, can you turn the gas on?
Turn the gas on. What? And just look outside. There's like a hole through my door.
They're just like, there might be a leak somewhere. Walks all the way back.
It took me 2 days to find it, but I found it.
What the heck, dude? You ran over my...
Oh no, he blew up. It was his fault. It's all him. He owns the oven. He pays the gas. It's not me.
The cops just trace the gas line back to me. It's like, come on, dude. I didn't do anything. All right. So, well, cool. It sounds like you guys are up to, interesting things.
Not only do I need a kiln, by the way, I also need to at some point get a Rockwell hardness tester, which is another $1,000 for this small little tool that lets me know how hard the steel is.
Oh,
That way I can.
That's weird.
Well, it's that way I can heat the receivers up and not have to worry about the possibility of them shattering. Which isn't really a common occurrence because the receiver doesn't have any load bearing on it, but it's more of to be safe.
Yeah, I get that. Well, sounds like there's a lot of expert level craftsmanship into putting together guns.
I wouldn't call it that, but okay. I'm basically in a workshop banging things together. I'm a monkey with rocks right now.
I mean, you'll get good at it eventually, right?
I don't know. The only thing I have luck in is video games.
Okay, well, anyways, so...
I haven't blown up yet. Guess that's I don't know, is that bonus or negative?
Well, it depends if somebody likes you or not, I guess.
Weez, do you like me?
So, anyways, our next topic.
All right.
Yeah, what's our next topic about?
I don't know.
gonna
What is
put
our
the
next
gas
topic?
up.
Well,
Pyrolis appreciation. That's our next topic.
we just talked about that. We just talked about him blowing himself up with a gas line.
That's our appreciation of him.
Yes.
All right, I see how it is. I'm gonna go do that right now.
No.
No, not with my stove.
Why not? You only possibly get caught in the blast.
This house has natural gas anyway, so that really sucked.
Even better. I'm gonna turn the gas on and leave it
The
on for
whole
a bit.
apartment complex goes up at that moment then.
It's not on my bill. I'm dead.
Oh, that's horrible. That's so horrible.
I ain't got nothing to worry about.
So, besides for your crazy redneck gun antics, you said you watched the last of Overlord Season 3.
Yeah, I did.
So how did you like it?
It was pretty alright.
Cool.
Yeah, I liked it. It was pretty neato burrito.
Yeah. You don't have much to say about it, do you?
It's hard for me to describe things like that because one, I don't want to spoil it. Two,
Dude, it was made back in 2016.
it's hard for me to describe shows in general unless I'm talking about it with someone. I can't just go off and talk about it because my mind's like picturing it.
Aren't you
and
talking
I'm watching my
about it
mind.
with us?
I'm not really describing anything about it though. I'm not going like Angel Gong goes to this place and he goes rah 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 and then he wins. You know.
Well, I mean, that's most of the anime.
Yeah, pretty much. There's this one part where like the one guy's like, I'm gonna fight you honorably, and he's like, I want you to join me, and the other guy's like, no, I don't want to join you. I gotta fight for my king. So you're like, you're not gonna win, bro. And so he's basically, it's just what happens. Like, Ainz will go and like stop times. Like, you really should have defended against time stopping techniques. Walks up to him, instant death. Then he just falls down. They're like, how did he do that? And it's like, I mean, you know, when you're stupid, this stuff kind of happens. And he proceeds to walk away. He's like, I'm done with these people. And he's gone. So, and that was like the last episode of that season.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's gonna be like a season 4. then.
Like, this guy was pretty big, and I was kind of expecting him to, like, put up a good fight. He didn't. Which
That's amazing.
I was hoping he did, but I was not expecting him to
Okay.
because of how powerful Ainzul Gon is.
Overlord is like they lead up to the bad guy being like really bad or like being really strong and powerful and just like wiping out lower class characters.
Everyone's
then-
a lower class character, though.
Yeah, but then like they meet up to Ainzun Gol and like he acts like this like nonchalant like weak character half the time. At least he did in the first season.
He still
like,
does.
First season and a half. And like so like they're like, "Oh, I got this guy. Like no problem." And then he just like buffs for 5 minutes straight and then just like wipes out the people that are fighting him. Like the first villain lady that he fought in the world with the one that killed adventurers,
Yeah.
like how he killed her, that was like insane in season 1.
Well, like, in season 3, the big battle, he basically just, like, whips out... Because, like, the person was like, oh, yeah, to signal the battle start, I want you to, do one of your strongest attacks. Because he wanted to gauge him. And he's like,
Okay.
all right, yeah, I can do that. And he, like, just summons this god-tier magic. And, like, basically half the army, there was, like, 100,000 at least people. He like wipes out half the army with one spell, and the bodies get sucked up, turning these giant goat monsters with mouths and stuff. And then they start just trampling everyone else. and he's like, "This is the first time I've summoned 5 of them. Clap, everybody!" And like his army people that like saw him, like out of terror, just started clapping, and then the goats started coming towards them, like. And like, they got too close where like they just took off running. And INT's like, well, I see that your men ran away. I'm not going to blame you. I mean, you were supposed to help me, but I'm not going to blame you because they're, terrified. So instead, I'm going to get on top of my giant ghost monster thing, say sayonara, and go do your half of the battle because obviously your men ran away.
I want to watch this season of Overlord.
Yeah,
I quit at
amazing.
halfway through season 2, so
It's pretty good.
yeah.
Like in general, it's pretty good. And like there was this one adventure party that when like basically he's trying to make the Citadel place like its own country.
Yeah.
The Tomb of Einzelgone or whatever it's called. He wants to make it his own country so that way he can get, because his main goal is trying to find other players, which we all know he's not gonna find.
Yeah, right.
But he's trying to find the players, so he wanted to get the name of Einzelgone out there. So he basically had someone from another country send adventures there.
Yeah.
And like 2 episodes, you're learning about these adventures, all their struggles, the hardship they got to go through, and then like the next episode they just get wiped out.
Oh, in his dungeon?
Yeah, it's like you're falling in love with them, they just get wiped out.
Yeah.
They're gone. Like you watch it, it's like one of them gets fed to like cockroaches and stuff, and it's like, no, these people are below dirt.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
these people are not gonna beat this. And there's one girl like gets away, and the thing is like Einzelgone, one of the dungeon levels, it looks like the outside.
Yeah.
So she hits a wall because she's flying. She hits a wall. She's like, "What do you mean?" And then the vampire comes. And she's like, "Yeah, you're getting eaten now," and proceeds to eat her.
The vampire lolly?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then, like, it goes back to the shot of this adventurer's house and her 2 little twin sisters. Like, I wonder when Big Sis is coming back home. And it's like, yeah, she's not, kids. And it's great because their dad is a noble that keeps on spending all their money because they're technically no longer nobles, but he wants to act like they are. So they got, like, no money. They're inclining further and further in debt. And she'll try to take him out of that house after this mission, but ended up dying because, Einzelgone is Einzelgone.
I forget Ainz is like a total evil dude.
Yeah, it's great.
It's funny.
It's amazing. Because, like, yeah, this is pretty much realistically what would happen in this scenario.
Especially since it's like a game world, right?
He started, the character he made was in a game, but then he got transported into a real life,
fantasy
a real
world.
fantasy
Okay.
world. But all of his in-game stuff, he kept.
Oh, okay.
So his guild hall, which is like
that's
a
why he's
giant
so
complex,
busted.
yeah. His guild hall, all of his NPC lieutenants, and then like all of his gold and equipment. So like, in
and
the
all
first
his magic
season,
and stuff.
in the first season, there's this succubus lieutenant of like in his guild.
Yeah.
And like his guild used to have like hundreds of members.
Yeah.
And near the end of the game, like quitting, everybody quit. So like he was walking through one last time and like updated some of their lieutenants with like different traits and stuff because you programmed like your NPCs that were in your dungeon. He's like, oh, I'll make this funny. Like, I'll update the succubus to be madly in love with me. So now, like throughout the rest of the show, like she's
It was
like,
a mistake.
yeah, it was a really big mistake.
Well, the thing is now that all the women are attracted to him because he's like the last remaining member. And he's like, man, y'all are like kids to my friends.
Yeah.
This is kind of weird.
Yeah. That's great. I like Overlord. I don't know why I quit watching it.
Einzelgone is a great character because he'll go from like completely evil to some people, but then other people will show compassion. Like there's this little girl that's like is running around his mansion, then runs up to him and jumps. I was like, puny little girl, you're adorable. Let me show you around my castle. Because she's talking about how wonderful his castle is. Like, oh, it is wonderful, isn't it? Let's go.
I like how like, he fights against like becoming the Lich.
Yeah.
Because there's like certain times where like he falls into like because he's a human that was playing a Lich in the MMO, so he gets transported as a Lich.
Lich, okay.
So like there's moments where like his Lich side will come out and he starts acting more evil when he's trying to actually fight against it and be like a decent guy.
Yeah.
So
And when he gets too excited, some sort of power like calms him down.
yeah.
But yeah, no. So it's pretty cool anime.
Nice.
I like it.
That sounds cool.
All right, cool. So Weez, you've been watching Platinum End.
I watched Platinum End, and this anime is sick.
So we're just gonna say right here because since we're gonna be discussing anime most of the night, spoiler warning for any seasonal anime that's coming out. And I mean, if you have
Yeah.
to be worried about spoilers for Overlord, I'm so sorry.
I will start out. I'll like explain a lot of what happens in the show. Not much has happened because it's like right at the beginning, but
yeah, you're on like episode 4.
There
right?
will be episode 4 or 5 or something. Yeah, episode 4 is the most recent one. So, Platinum End. If you like Death Note, it feels like Death Note. Like the story has a similar vibe because it's from the same author,
right?
Same duo of manga artist and writer. Of high school kid gets a supernatural gift, basically.
Yeah.
And in this one, he's the guy's suicidal. So he's like, his family life is sucked because his family died, and he was adopted by his aunt. It's more mature than Death Note is too. But his aunt and uncle are taking care of him, and they like abuse him and stuff.
Okay.
So he's like suicidal. He finishes school for the day, and he walks up to like the top of the building and just falls off. And so while he's falling, this angel comes from the sky and like catches him. And at first he feels the impact, and he's like, I'm dead. He's like, oh, there's an afterlife. There must be a god and stuff. And then the angel's calling him, and just like, hello, you're still alive. Go look around. Look at all the peoples that are just hanging out. Nothing happened. You never died. And so he's just like, I just want to die. And she drops him off at this thing and is like, okay, so I'm an angel, and I'm here to make you happy. So you can either have this arrow that'll make anyone you hit with it fall madly in love with you, or you can have these wings that I have that just let you fly basically anywhere, like in the world, just like super fast speed. Like it's insanely fast. You can fly like around the world in like a few moments.
Okay.
So it's like, here's your option. And he's just like, I don't care. Just give me both. I want to die. And she's like, okay, I can give you both. And it's like, what? Why did you phrase it that way if you're going to give me both? If you could give me both in the first place? And she's like, I don't know. It's just the way we do it. So anyways, he gets this arrow that makes anyone fall madly in love with him. And he gets these wings. So
he's Cupid.
Yes. The Cupid power is like the red. And then
he
the
could become a harem king.
So,
tell me that's what he does. He doesn't abuse his power, does he?
The first thing he does is the angel tells him that his aunt and uncle were the ones that killed his parents.
Okay.
Killed his whole family because they wanted their money, because they were a rich family. So he's like, that can't be true. That's crazy. And she's like, go hit your aunt or uncle with a red arrow, and then you'll find out. So he like goes over, throws the red arrow at his aunt, and then she falls in love with him, and he's just like, did you kill my parents? And she's like, no, it was all his idea, and stuff like that. So she admits it, and then he's like, oh dang. And then the angel is also interesting because she's not super moral. Like she'll just be like, oh, you can like just kill your your adopted aunt and uncle, and then you'll get all the money, and then you'll be fine.
Right.
Yes.
Does he shoot the angel?
No, I don't think you
done.
can.
That's why I'm like,
I would have done that.
But he shoots. So the angel's nice though. She's just like a fun.
That's why
like,
I want her
person.
to love you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See. Anyways, he hits the girl. You know, maybe you can hit angels.
I
think you can.
That'd be the smartest thing. You know, like hit angel, and now you get more gifts and presents.
Although,
bada bing, bada boom.
what happens is, he gets his aunt to like confess that they murdered his family, and then he's so upset at them. He's just like, I wish you would die. She immediately kills herself.
Nice.
Oh wow.
So then he later like hits him with a red arrow and makes him go confess what he did, and then he finds out from the angel, who doesn't tell him anything at the beginning. It also has the Death Note thing of like there's a million rules to everything.
She's basically a Ryuk, isn't she?
Pretty much. So she's like a Ryuk, but she's very pure-hearted is kind of her thing. So it turns out there's...
What's your opinion on apples, real quick?
What's her opinion?
Yeah, on apples.
It hasn't said yet. She might have a thing like that. That'd be funny.
But
anyways, you find out there are 13 angels that were sent to Earth. And the whole plot of this is that God is dying, and so he sends these 13 angels to go find a new candidate to be God. So it sends him to Earth. So as he's dying, he sends these to Earth to find new god candidates. And so they like pick different ones.
They all happen to be in Japan.
They all happen to be in Japan. The reason is actually really funny because it only picks people who have lost the will to live. Basically, they see the world as not good.
Japan is the most depressed country.
That's literally the reason. So it was it was just that they wanted people that were like suicidal, so that they want to fix something's wrong with the world. They want to fix it. So when he's like, "Oh, all the candidates are in Japan," it's like she didn't tell you because he meets up with another candidate, an angel, eventually, and that angel, Nase, who's his angel, is just like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." It's like, "Yeah, they're all in Japan." It's like, "Why are they all in Japan?" It's like, "Well, we had to pick people who are suicidal, and Japan's pretty prosperous, but it's pretty. There's a lot of people who are suicidal."
Huh.
Like, wow, that's a great reason. But anyways, that's the main concept of just him getting this thing. Now, he doesn't want to be God. He has no interest in it. He just wants to live a normal, happy life. He wants to just like start a family and just like enjoy his life.
Yep.
Because he was just like depressed the whole time. And he has this thing from his mother who was just like telling him to like how people always seek for happiness and whatever. So that's just his goal, is that he wants to be happy.
Right.
Meanwhile, there's this other god candidate who's just like, I'm gonna go murder all of the other candidates, and then I will be the only one left. The idea of the god candidates thing is they give them these powers, they see how they react, then all the angels like discuss it or whatever, and they end up choosing a new one.
Right.
This guy's just like, they can't be gods if they're dead, and then just like starts murdering everyone. He dresses up as this superhero thing, like a Power Rangers costume almost.
Okay.
It's like the kind of like a mecha thing. So he's got this, and he's just like, I am Metropo Man or something. I don't remember what he's called, but he's part of this like superhero group, and he's like setting up. This is where the Death Note mind games come in, because this guy is setting up traps and stuff for everyone. Okay. So he's like, meet us all at this point. And then like these other people are coming in, and they've got like, there's also different tiers of angels. So some of them only have arrows or wings. Some of them have arrows and wings, and some of them have arrows, wings, and the white arrow, which just kills somebody, which is also what he has, because his angel is the highest tier.
The bad guy.
The bad guy and the main character.
Oh, so he has 3 arrows.
So yeah, he actually has the white arrow too.
Oh, okay.
That's also part of it, where it's like, oh, you could just kill him. See, you also have this white arrow that just kills everyone. And he's like, why don't you tell me anything? So, it's kind of funny.
Again, hit her with the arrow and she'll tell you everything.
It's definitely like just how the storytelling is, where it's just like revealing stuff as it goes on. But mostly it's just his angel's an idiot and like doesn't tell him anything.
Watch, the one orphan from Death Note's gonna be here. He's like, for some reason these people are dying. What would L do in this scenario?
He just gets an arrow in the back of the head, like drops dead.
That's what L would do.
That would be amazing if just like the random detective like popped up. I think there are Death Note references in it at some point.
Watch, this new bad guy, he's just reincarnated version of Light.
Oh, dang.
Watch, because we know he got reincarnated because of Death Parade.
I bet the reference is gonna be Strawberry Man.
Yes.
What's his name?
Mogi.
Mogi.
Here, have a strawberry. Oh, thanks.
He's the next world's greatest detective, and he goes to figure out the angel problem.
He takes out the strawberry he got from L. It's all moldy, and he's holding it up to his eye like, I know what the issue is. And no one believes him, but he's perfectly, completely right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty interesting show, because they're like, it's interesting because the main character isn't figuring out stuff, because he just kind of wants to stay out of it. Yeah. He's kind of being forced into it. It's the other characters who like know stuff. So at this one point, like this battle commences between two like multiple angel candidates.
Yeah.
And they're like, we know that you can only shoot an arrow, and then it takes like 2 seconds before you can shoot another arrow.
Yeah.
You can't just go blasting. There's also rules where the thing where you fall in love with them, it only lasts for 33 days.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, you can't hit them again.
Like
also,
they're immune?
Yeah.
Okay.
You also can't hit someone with a red arrow who's already been hit by a red arrow.
Oh.
So if they're already madly in love with a different person, then you can't hit them again. So there was like all these like complex mind games that are going on with these rules. Also with just like, you can't charge your arrow while you're flying. You have to like stay still. So there's all this stuff that's going on where they're in this area and these two guys are back to back and they're like, show yourself. If this guy shows himself, he could take down one, but then the other one would get him.
Right.
But he was also like, well, I have the white and the red arrow and I can shoot both of them about the same time. So there's like, yeah.
Easy solution. Fly to America, purchase AK-47, fly back, lay down some heavy fire. Like, come on, man.
That's the other thing that was great is at one point these because these two guys are just like, hey, if there's anyone else in the crowd that wants us to help protect them because this guy's a menace, we need to team up against him, then let us know. Because this guy originally tried to get all the 13 candidates together. Right. And so they're at this thing and they're like saying that. And then these two other groups, and all of them are dressed up as part of this, like, that superhero team or whatever. Okay. So these two other people that come from the superhero team, and they're like, okay, we have to make sure that you're not hit by a red arrow, so we're going to hit you with a red arrow to make sure everything's okay. Everything's legit. So, like, okay, go ahead and hit us with that. So they did that. They walk into the area, and then the guy comes in there and takes both of them down.
Oh, wow.
And what happens is, those two people that joined were not... were not candidates. They were just normal people. And they were like, how did you control them without using the red arrow? And he's like, there are other ways to control people. Money. So it was awesome because it was like, just normal practical things that can happen that are just like, it's not just about your stupid powers.
What this kind of reminds me of? A little bit Darwin's Game.
I like Darwin's Game. Yeah. Have you seen that?
I've seen a little bit of, I've seen clips of the show.
I've read the manga.
Yeah, nice.
Then I found it was an anime, and I started watching that, and then I got lost track of that.
Oh.
So reading the manga.
But anyways,
So it's pretty cool. I like it. It's definitely...
Nice. It sounds really interesting, so I think I'll try picking it up once it's released.
Yeah, it's also like every episode ends with a cliffhanger. Yeah,
I don't really like
the most recent episode. Huge spoilers for the most recent episode ends with this one girl who got the powers. She has got like angel wings and doesn't have any of the arrow stuff. Okay. She gets captured by him. And then they put handcuffs on her, handcuffs her to this other guy, and then he has them both hit with the red arrows. Now, when they have a red arrow hit, they'll do basically anything for you, but there's still a limit to it where if you try to kill them, they will still just be like, no, I didn't, I'm sorry, just please don't kill me, whatever. They'll try to flee from you. Yep. They'll only kill themselves if they've done something bad enough to you that would cause them to kill themselves as repentance. Okay. Which is why his aunt could kill herself because she did something so horrible to him. Yep. So because of that, it doesn't completely mind control him, just like the Death Note where it's how you died couldn't completely mind control someone. So he's freaking out and flying away. The girl is attached by the handcuffs and is pulling her arms apart basically. Nice. He kills that guy. I'm not exactly sure why he did that, but anyways, he kills that guy. And then the girl's there and is crying, and then he's about to kill the girl, and he's just trying to get any other god candidates to come out here. It's are you all cowards that you're not gonna protect this little helpless girl? Right. And so the end is just the main character is just screw it, and he pulls out his arrow because he doesn't want anything to do with it. So he just pulls out his arrow, and then it's anime episode over. Wait till next week. And
Yay!
This sucks.
It releases every Friday. I'm gonna pirate it with the 7 Seas.
So it's a cool anime.
That's good.
Definitely recommend it.
Cool.
I might watch it.
Yeah.
I will probably watch it as well, but I'll watch it once it releases.
And it's got a cool angel girl.
That's being I'm gonna watch it. You had me at Angel Girl.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
Going back to Angel Beats. I'm
she's actually a good character. She's funny.
I want her opinion on apples.
She's quirky.
That's all I'm caring about.
She's super upbeat and happy, and then it's just oh yeah, you could just go kill those people.
I want female Ryuk.
That's what I'm thinking.
She basically is.
That's what I mean. That's all I want.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got a very similar vibe to Death Note, but it's also very different. The main character is complete opposite of
Light.
Light. Yeah. Because he's just I want to live a simple life. I want to have a normal, happy family. I have no desire to be God.
And Light was legit. I want to be God.
I want to be God.
I am God.
So
that's cool. That
Yeah.
actually sounds like a really cool show. So
it
nice.
is really cool, and there's like a lot of mysteries and just like cool things, and the battle. It almost has like a battle shonen feel at some of the points where they're fighting.
Yeah.
But then it has like that Death Note like suspense and like so many rules that all like fit together, and
Yep.
you like find out more rules as it goes on. So
Oh, that's cool.
just like 33 days. Also, like the god candidacy has to be decided in 999 days.
So like 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Huh.
So there's just like a bunch of things like that where it's just very specific numbers for like
Yeah.
it's kind of like a scientific look at spiritual things where they have like very specific rules to all the spiritual stuff that happens.
Huh.
And then even some of the angels were like, I didn't even know that. Like when you shoot an arrow at somebody, it always hits them. It always like locks on perfectly.
Okay.
Except the angel wing is faster. And then it was like, it's only this many meters that you have to be close to this person to hit them. Like, so you have to be within a range. You can't just like shoot from a mile
Right.
away.
And of course, like all these people that are candidates are like super smart. So like, yeah.
Except for
so
this guy.
far, half of them aren't super smart.
Well,
a lot of them have
the
died
ones that are
already.
surviving are like pretty
Yeah.
smart. So like,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it takes 15 meters to hit this person, and I
Yeah.
can travel at
Like,
40 kilometers.
They
so-
must have. They were doing the test that Light was doing in Death Note, where it's just like, I'm gonna kill this prisoner and have him see if I can do this.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like these guys already did it, and then they're like explaining it.
Yeah.
They're like, we know you can't shoot within this close of us, which is like this area. So it's like we have to be able to see you if you're here.
Huh.
So yeah,
That's cool.
it's interesting. And then just with the angel wings, where you're just like, whoop whoop whoop.
So
fly
do
everywhere.
they look like they have angel wings, or do they just kind of fly?
It's also a Death Note thing where if you have the angel powers, you can see angels, you can see their angel wings, you can see their arrows.
But
if
to
you
random
don't,
people, it just looks like a
random
bunch of people
it
fly.
just looks like they're flying.
Or
Okay.
you're just like, why has he got a bow and arrow? Why is he pointing at me? Like, I don't see any of this. What's he doing?
Like, do
Is
they
this
like
mine?
they have arrows, but like, is it just like an energy bow?
It is
or
they kind of have it on their hand. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
like it's like a crystal almost that comes
Okay.
to a point. So like they have that. The one guy did kind of bring it back like an arrow and kind of like
Okay.
shoot with from it. So you have these things. You also have the wings that make you fly, but nobody can see this. So they just see like this little girl flying through the arrow and flying.
right?
Most people think it's like a performance. And then the main, like the one guy that's like a superhero, he like did a bank. Like there was this bank robbery and they had hostages or whatever.
Yep.
And he went in and like killed them. So like they saw him on camera like flying around and stuff.
Oh.
So they're just
Wow,
like, what
the
is
blood
this?
looks so real.
Yeah, they're like, what is this? So nobody really knows what to think. But the thing in the arena, that it was like a baseball stadium when he had all the candidates come. Everyone's just like, is this a performance?
Oh, so this was during a baseball game, basically.
It wasn't during a baseball game. It's just in a baseball field.
Okay.
So what you're telling me is no one has yet said, oh, this is like Kira 2.0.
Well, this isn't in the same universe.
Is
Is it?
I'd say
I don't know.
Because
I have no
I feel
idea.
like at this
It
point,
totally could be.
I mean, that'd be kind of weird.
It would be
Kinda
cool,
cool.
if it did.
That makes sense.
Because
There's
like
the-
you have the gods of death,
Then there's angels,
and then
yeah.
you
And then you
have
have the angels.
angels.
And then you have the god. And then Ryuk's what is? Nah, Ryuk.
it's the
oh,
Shinigami
does-
King is what he
The
wants to do.
Shinigami, there's the rule in the Death Note that when you use the Death Note, you can neither go to heaven nor hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you go to.
I was thinking if there was a line where Ryuk said that God was dead.
Is there?
I feel like he might have mentioned it because they were put there like so long ago,
Watch,
and
we're
they
gonna
just
see a
they all
child light.
forgot about it, so
Death
they're just
Note.
like, oh, he's probably dead by now. I don't know, but if I'm remembering that correctly, then it would kind of make sense in Platinum End, where just like the gods constantly die and like get
Yeah.
changed out every so often. So that would be kind of funny, but. This could definitely happen. Take place in the same universe after Death Note. That would be cool.
Yeah. That would
I
be
think there
interesting.
is a reference, isn't it? Sakura TV, that's the news
Yeah.
station.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it's the same in here. It's Sakura
All
TV.
right.
That's
Okay.
like
Same
covering all
universe.
this stuff. So
It's canon now.
yeah, same universe. This guy's just like
let's have fun.
this guy's like
Yeah.
depressed L. It's great.
Oh, I
Yeah,
found a
mean, depressed
manga
Light.
chapter called God. Whoops, that's not right. Is God in Death Note? God Kami's the 12th chapter. Oh, no. Did light become God. Which God is in Death Note? Who's in Death Note that has a God complex? Everybody. I don't know. It would take a while to figure it out, but I'm not sure.
Let's just real quick take a break and watch all of the Death Note.
All of Death Note, yeah.
Well, that leads into our next segment of break time.
Ad time.
So yeah, we'll be back later. Well, I mean, in a couple seconds. And yeah, we'll talk about some more seasonal anime, I guess. So.
Enjoy the ad. Ad time.
And we're back.
We are back.
It reminds me, Jeffrey is growing a third leaf, finally.
Who?
So I have a plant at work.
Oh,
I found a tree in the sewer, and I put him in a cup, and I named him Jeffrey.
I remember you telling us about this.
Yeah. So anyway, he's growing a third leaf now. We're still not sure what kind of tree it is, but he's growing a third leaf. So he's growing. He's getting strong. He's getting taller. I'm pretty proud of my little boy.
Cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Very cool.
So we're going over now Boom's seasonal anime that he's been watching. And this is going to take forever because he's been watching everything.
I'm just going to go over one.
However, okay, which one are you going over? Is it Kami-san Can't Communicate?
No.
Have you been watching that?
There's only 2 episodes.
Have you been watching it?
I have.
Nice.
It's very good.
How about Jobless Reincarnation?
I have been watching that as well.
Okay, so I went to Google Translate because I thought, I wonder what that, how accurately translated or whatever the things are. Because, ReZero's, thing is completely different.
Yeah.
So, also, if you do the Romanji, it comes out very weird. When
Yeah.
I went to the Romanji of Kami-san Can't Communicate, the English came out as Kami-san, I have communism.
Oh, that's great.
So, for Jobless Reincarnation, it came out as Mushoku Tensei, I'm serious when I go to another world.
That actually fits
Yeah.
really well with what the show is, because he's a lazy otaku bum. That
I've read this manga.
It gets kicked out of his. It's actually a light novel.
Well, it's not. Isn't there a manga in it?
I don't think so. I think
Or,
it's just a light novel.
It's
It
a
could
little
be.
boy that starts up a village type thing while he's still a little boy. He's helping. He's basically a feudal lord's son, and he's helping around, make sure
No.
introduces pasta and stuff to the world.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this. I don't know what you're looking up, but no, this is not a. It's similar. He gets reincarnated. He gets actually born into the other world.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
I guess I'm talking about Jobless Reincarnation. So here we go.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning.
The one Pyrolis was talking about was reincarnated in another world with my pasta.
Well, no,
me pasta.
that's just part of it. There was a famine, but they got a lot of wheat and stuff. So this is pasta. So I make spaghetti.
Yeah.
And
Well, he
pasta.
introduced it to a thing, and then this is amazing. I was
So
like,
it's
okay,
just
I'm
an
gonna go for the rest of
Italian
them.
reincarnated.
No, it's not.
Then he's introducing
It's
pizza. Sounds great.
So I guess I'll go over really quick. I'm watching Kami-san Can't Communicate. I am watching Maruko-chan. I am watching Tak Ep Destiny, and I'm watching Suki ta Laika Nosferatu, which is basically
Nosferatu.
which basically translates to
It's the vampire girl.
vampire cosmonaut. What's her name? Is it Laika? Synapse.
Probably.
English name. Alternative titles.
Irina?
Irina, the vampire cosmonaut. That one's kind of cool. It's more like a rom-com, not rom-com, but like a romantic show. Anyway, so yeah, and then I've been watching Mushoku Tensei Isekai, or Jobless Reincarnation. That's what it is. Part 2.
Nice. Those are all the ones you've been watching.
Yeah. Oh, and also Deep Insanity, The Lost Child. I've been watching that as well. That one is not as interesting. That one I might drop, but so far I'm only 3 episodes in. So, but yeah, Jobless Reincarnation is really cool. That one, people could binge the first season. So that one I'll probably talk about because it seems like a really good show for people to get into. But basically what it is there's this lazy bum otaku guy. He gets kind of kicked out of his, I can't tell if it's his parents' house or if it's just an apartment. But he gets kicked out. He's kind of walking away, running away. I don't know. Kind of freaking out a little bit. Because I think he gets in trouble by somebody. Somebody gets mad at him. And he kind of runs away. And he gets hit by a truck. Right?
Yeah.
So he dies. But the end of the light is just between the mom's legs as he's coming out and getting born into a new world.
Oh my goodness.
So like his first memories is like him getting born. He's like, where am I? What is going on? He's like, what was I just born?
I'm pretty sure this is the manga I was talking about
sure?
the pasta. Looking at the pictures, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He hasn't introduced pasta to the world yet.
I know I read this. Might not be that exact one, but I know I read this. Mainly because of the red-haired child.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. So anyways, his parents were big adventurers, right? So like they kind of teach him, but so his dad is a big adventure guy. His mom is like adventure. They're both part of the same adventuring party. And they live in this town currently. It's a very quiet, small town. And his dad's like kind of in charge of taking guard over the town, like kind of protecting the area.
Yeah.
Because like his the Gray Rat family, which is the family that he's a part of, is like a big noble family for the area. They kind of ruled most of the kingdom and stuff like that. So he kind of grows up with like his family and stuff, and gets very interested into magic. So his mom had some magical books and like that. So he starts learning magic, and it turns out he's very adept at doing a special type of magic, which is what's it called? Basically it's where he doesn't have to say the words to cast the magic spell. Chantless magic. So like he doesn't have to do the whole incantation to cast the spell. He can just do the spell instantly. So it makes him super adept at learning multiple different things of magic and also learning them all really well. So he teaches himself how to do that really well. And his parents hire a tutor for him, which her name is Roxy, and she's like a demon from a different continent. Anyways, she teaches him wind magic. It's some form of magic. I think it's water or wind. And there's different grades of magic levels for each area. So he becomes king level, basically. So he's one of the highest level casters of that magic. But anyways, so he's like super adept at magic and stuff like that. Like he can do all forms. He can do like earth, fire, electricity, all types of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So anyways, like his life's pretty good. He meets like this elf friend, and he's like his big character trait is he's super perverted.
Okay.
So like it's literally a 30-year-old man in a 12-year-old's body. So like he's like going through...
I've read so many of these.
Yeah, it's not like the most it's not the most like unique, but it was one of the light novel was one of the first of this kind, where it's like full reincarnation and stuff like that. So anyways, he's going through, and then he wants to go to like this magic school. So he convinces his dad to give him a job, right? So he's currently like dating this elf lady, this elf girl in his village, and tries to convince his dad to pay for both his and her tuition to go to the school.
Yeah.
Well, instead of doing any of that, he's like, okay, I'll get you a job so that we can pay for the tuition stuff.
Yeah.
So the job is where he gets kidnapped and brought to the capital to become the tutor of the ruler's daughter instead. So he gets kidnapped away from his family and his girlfriend and stuff, all because of his dad like made it happen.
Yeah, I've read this.
Dang.
So his dad's like, oh yeah, I'll just get you a job. So his job is literally being kidnapped and thrown into the capital.
Dang.
So he's like super mad at his dad.
Makes sense.
His dad's kind of a jerk womanizer guy. So like he literally gets their maid pregnant.
Yikes.
Like, so his wife is pregnant with a child, and then he cheats on his wife, gets the maid pregnant. So now there's like two children besides for the main character, which the main character's name is Rudius.
Okay.
So there's Rudius, and then his dad has two other children with both the other women in his house. So there's like the big, I don't know, this show's very like realistic. So it's like a realistic
It's like a
show.
drama?
Yeah, it's like a drama kind of. So like there's this big drama between that, and like he helps his family like figure that out, and then he gets kidnapped and goes to the capital. So this is all the boring part of the show.
Yeah.
Anyways, he helps teach Eris, the daughter of the ruler, basically. He's supposed to be teaching her like normal schooling stuff, right? Because he's super smart. He knows multiple languages and stuff like that. And she does not want to learn any of that. She's kind of like the big bully type character, the tsundere type character, and kind of just like picks on him, bullies him, and stuff like that until finally they start growing a relationship together where she's willing to learn.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all this happens. It's near the end of the first season, and they're out in a field, just kind of doing stuff. I don't know, hanging out on a day off.
Yeah.
And this big magical calamity happens where him and Eris get transported to like 3 continents away to the demon continent, and they find where's his name? They find another guy, which is a demon. So demons kind of look like humans. There's not really there's animal people, but they're very much human-like. So it's kind of like ReZero.
Okay.
So he finds a demon named a superb demon, and basically they're like the big bad demons, or supposed to be, where like if you look at him you instantly die. Turns out he's not actually like that. He's actually a really nice guy that really likes children. So he like sets up to like escort these 2 children back 3 continents back to where they came. But the problem is like everybody hates him. So he has to hide his identity and stuff like that to kind of travel through. And season 2 is about them like becoming adventurers and traveling through the world, and kind of it's like a growing up story. Because like since he was a kind of shut in NEET, he kind of never grew up in the real world. So it's kind of like him relearning how to grow up and become a proper human being. So it's kind of cool.
I've got several manga that if they're anime, you're probably gonna like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like this story. It's not my favorite, but it's probably one of the best for this season coming out.
It sounds pretty original. Like it's not just a
well, it's supposed to be one of the first
fantasy
isekai
or whatever.
Yeah, it's not a power fantasy. It's supposed to be like he is super powerful, right?
Yeah.
Like of course he has a special talent where he can kind of like cast abilities without saying it. But like even his teacher Roxy was like near the end of season 1, we saw her trying to learn it, and she was able to start casting like simple spells that way. So normal people can learn the spell.
Yeah.
Like, he's super dedicated to magic where he was able to learn it.
Learn it faster.
So, yeah.
And he probably just has more life experience.
It doesn't really help. His previous life experience was actually a hindrance. So there's actually a really cool moment where he normally did not go into the village. He didn't even really go outside until he was like 5 years old because he had really bad social anxiety. Because the one reason why he became a shut-in NEET is because everybody at his school bullied him. So like there's this one point where they stripped him naked and literally like not stapled him, but like strapped him to the front fence of the school, bare butt naked.
Wow, that's just like
in the rain.
That's just like normal punishments and Made in Abyss.
Oh yeah, just normal
stuff.
That's so
wholesome.
So like that traumatized him enough where he wouldn't go outside.
Yeah.
Until he got kicked out of his apartment, right? And he died of course.
Then he died. He was so scared of going outside. Immediately goes outside and dies.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he was more scared of the people out there because he thought everybody was kind of crap to him.
Yeah.
So like he was scared of people. So in the new world, he had this innate fear of going outside, and he has his old memories and stuff. So he remembers all the bad stuff that happened to him. So there's this really cool part where he's finally able to face his fear and go outside and like meet people around the village, which is when he actually meets his elf friend, the girl.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually a really cool moment because then at that moment she's getting bullied because she's different than everybody else. So he helps her through like her bullying and stuff like that.
That's cool.
As a man who reads mainly isekais, this is pretty bog standard.
This is really bog standard for an isekai.
Yeah.
But it's really cool how they address like the more serious aspects. Like this is not a...
Well, like I'm saying, like they all do that. Everyone I've read does that basically. I mean, they all do it in their own ways, but they all do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the thing is with this one, it was like one of the first ones.
Yeah, this is one of the first
getting
isekais.
more recognized because it was like a really early.
Yeah, well, also the way they do the show is really high quality. It's not like the 5 other isekais that you'd see every season. Like this one
Like the
is
animation
actually
and stuff is
it's
good.
really good. The music's good, the voice acting's good. The only thing that kind of makes it hard to watch for most people is if you're not really into like ecchi stuff that much. It's kind of hard to, because like there's, I don't know, he's always trying to sneak into women's like rooms and trying to steal people's underwear. He has this weird like worshiping fantasy with his like mentor and stuff like that, where he literally like before he gets kidnapped to the capital, he literally steals like a pair of her underwear and stuff like that.
I saw a picture of that on the Google Images.
Yeah,
That sounds like it kind of like it negates some of the seriousness of the show.
it does. It's very, very much a comedy factor. Like the most recent episode, he's trying to save. They're in a new town, and he's trying to save this person he thinks being kidnapped. So he's in the kidnapper's lair, hiding behind some boxes, and he finds a pair of women's underwear and puts it on his face as a mask. So he's wearing this, and of course, the people that he starts fighting are other adventurers, but one of the women adventurers, that's her underwear. So she's like, "Why are you wearing my underwear, creep?" As she's literally in a metal bikini. For her armor is just a metal bikini, and he's just like, "What are you wearing? You're worried about me wearing your underwear, but what are you wearing?"
That's funny.
It's really funny. Oh, he also gets thrown in jail, like literal prison, because he's petting a dog too vigorously, and it turns out this dog is actually like a beast person's like deity.
Nice.
So he's saving this dog, and he thinks it's just like a special like fancy dog, because it's a big dog. It's got symbols on it and stuff.
just, like,
It's like a
go
big fluffy
fluffy.
dog. But he starts petting it because it's super soft, and he's
Yeah.
like enjoying it. And the beast people, right before he saves them, like comes through the smugglers area, like kills all the smugglers and comes into the cage while he's like vigorously petting this dog. And he's like, "Why are you defiling our god?" And they take him away and throw him in prison at the village. So he's in village prison for like a week.
That's amazing.
Meanwhile, the dog's like, "Where'd the pets go?"
Yeah, he likes Rudius too, like the dog did. So
That's so funny.
yeah, it's really cool. The show is really funny. There's cool moments. There's like really good heartfelt moments and really funny moments. There is this big thing too where the god that reincarnates him, whenever there's like a really hard point in like the Rudius's life, he'll sometimes when he's sleeping, he'll have visions where he's back in his old body in like this giant white room and the god that reincarnated him will show up and try to give him life advice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird because usually the life advice is really like vague and also very weird. So like in one instant, the god is like, "Well, you're having trouble trying to figure out this whole problem. So I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. And if you do that, it'll help you out." And he's like, "What do you mean exactly?" So like it goes down to like he has to walk down one street, take a left turn, buy some fruit, walk down another street, take a right turn, stop, turn around, walk the other way, and then take another turn. And then he gets assaulted by this demon child. And it turns out the demon child is the reincarnation of the demon overlord, of the demon
dang.
lord. So the demon child is poor at the moment and like
Yeah.
homeless. So he feeds the demon child, and the demon child gives him a gift of future sight. So the demon is able to gift demon eyes to people. So she gives future sight to Rudius.
Okay.
So it allows him to see like, depending on how much mana he puts into it, it allows him to see like 30 seconds ahead of future and stuff like that.
Okay.
According to the rat moderator, that's pointless though.
The what?
The rat moderator.
The rat
Yeah.
moderator.
Our we interviewed.
Oh yeah,
that
futures.
rat. Yeah.
Oh, that was the best. That was the best night of role playing, like in our D&D session ever.
That was great.
That was great. Oh, what will 10 seconds do? Oh, literally gets beat half to death in 10 seconds. It gets a can thrown at him.
Well, to prove what 10 seconds will do.
Oh, that was great. But yeah, so that's Jobless Reincarnation.
Nice.
In my very jarbled up, I'm not very good at describing shows.
It sounds cool though.
I watch shows because I have pretty pictures and nice like music and good story. So I watch shows because I like shows. I don't like
All right.
describing shows half the time.
I like the stories
You're
of
just
the
like
shows.
pretty pictures.
I like the pretty colors, which is why I have a hard time watching manga
Yeah.
because it's in black and white.
Wait a minute, can't you just like sit outside and watch cars go by as listen to music then, and that'll just like be good enough for you?
How do you know what I do in my part?
Oh my goodness.
He's just like, I'm gonna watch anime. Just like sits on his porch.
He's
watching
never
cars go
watched
by.
any of these. He's BS
Yeah.
all this. He just
He's
literally
just-
sits in front of the intersection and just watch cars go by.
He just prepares for this podcast by just like reading the My Anime List stuff and like watching a few clips on YouTube, and then it's like, okay, I got the idea.
And then he's listening to some like some people call me a cowboy. You know that song? Get what it's called?
I literally
yeah,
just
that
watch
song.
all
I'm
the
a Joker
trailers.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I literally just watch all the trailers to the show and then read the synopsis on my anime list, and I
Yeah.
call it good.
Yeah.
Then you're like,
Then
yeah,
he can
this
watch his
one's-
cars.
This one's great. It's kind of like this and this, and then when I like look up the show online, and it just has word for word exactly what Boom said. I'm like, huh.
Speaking of watching cars, does anyone else like when they notice that someone else has like a kid's TV in the back of their vehicle, like try to like keep up with them that we can watch like Shrek or whatever you got?
Yeah.
Like I did that a
I
lot.
started watching the Lego movie that way.
Well, I did that a lot, and then like you get mad when they turn off on the wrong. It's like I'm still watching that.
Yeah. I literally started watching the Lego movie that way.
Yeah.
Like I
That's
got up
great.
behind somebody, and I was like, "Oh, that's a Lego movie." And I started watching it, and then they got away from me, and I started speeding to get after them.
Yeah. And I wasn't finished. And you try to tune your radio in with their radio so they can hear the audio.
Turns out there's like a car chase going on. There's like police behind you trying to take down this person in front of you that just robbed a bank, and you're just like, ooh, the Lego movie.
Not gonna lie though, speaking of trying to set your car up to tune the radio in them, I actually have my Bluetooth radio thing for my phone. I've got it set to the NPR station.
No way.
Yeah, that way, like if anyone drives by listening to NPR, they're gonna get like blasted with anime music or something, and I'm gonna go, it's the greatest thing ever.
That's amazing.
They're not gonna know what's gonna happen.
Oh, that's great. So yeah, I think it's about time for our lucky star.
Oh, real quick announcement: Saga of Tiny Evil season 2 is coming out.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited for that.
We should have done a new segment and mentioned that.
That's fine. It's
We
the only
got
thing
it
that's
now.
coming out.
Yeah. You should have done that on break like last time, where it's just like, I've got one thing to say.
I forgot about it like just now.
So yeah, I mean, if anybody's still listening at this point, Saga of Tiny the Evil's coming out.
Oh yeah, baby.
So yeah, lucky star review.
This episode was weird.
I thought it was funny.
It was very different.
I thought it was great.
This episode was sponsored by every Comic-Con convention ever.
Hey, that's a segue into we're gonna be at an undisclosed Comic-Con within the next couple weeks or so.
Just as undisclosed characters.
Dude,
Just as
we're literally going to
undisclosed.
the Grand Rapids Comic-Con. Like, who do you think is actually going to be going to that listens to this?
I don't know, nobody, but
Joke's on you, there's a lot of people listening.
There's
Grand
so-
Rapids.
I was about to say, like, there's a chance. Now, the good thing we're going to give our costumes because now they're just going to listen for our voices.
I know.
We're going to be like talking like, I would like that sort of there. And someone's like,
I know you are.
I say a challenge is need to be initiated.
no, because watch, you're going to do this. And our
What?
biggest fan is going to literally buy tickets to Comic-Con and fly from Taiwan all the way here,
You know
then
what?
kidnap us.
I'd like to see him try. They've never seen our voice, and they've never seen.
They've never seen our voice?
Well, they've never.
You see
seen us.
voices.
They've only seen
you
our
hear
listen to our
faces.
voice. Anyways, so they have no idea like our body size or like what we're like or anything like that. So I got a feeling if our biggest fan is like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to
Wait,
kidnap these three
We already
guys,"
mentioned that Pyrolis looks like a JoJo character.
Yes.
So
like they'd come up to us and be like, I can't kidnap these guys."
They'd literally hear for a voice, then they'd be like, okay, I got the tranquilizer dark.
they'll just find my my profile, like my picture thing for YouTube and whatever. Just like look at me, look at the picture. It's like you.
Basically, they're like, I know exactly who you are.
But anyways, challenge. If you're going to the Grand Rapids Comic-Con, if you can find us by just listening to our voice, I will. I don't know. what
We'll
I'd do.
say hi.
We'll say hi, and I might give you money, depending on how impressed I am.
But
and how
you don't give
broke
me
I am.
money. You gotta catch him like first day of Comic-Con if you don't want to be
Yeah.
broke.
If you happen to find us, and the ridiculous scenario that I actually like recognize your voice, find us, and you listen to this podcast, If you find me, give me some like anime merchandise. That'd be great.
What?
He's begging her fans for merchandise now.
Yeah, no,
Aren't you supposed to give them
We're
something?
not giving them anything. There are.
If you give me
fans.
a Russian T-34, I will give you a hug. And maybe you can ride in the tank with me.
I guess I'll be the only one that gives you a reward. I'll give you $1.
I said I'd give him a hug.
I'm making them so they don't want to come up to me because then I'll just be like, oh, cool. Now give me your anime
Cool,
figures.
gimme.
Oh, that Nezuko figurine you got? Mine
That's
now.
mine.
Oh, what's that bag there? Oh, it looks like mine.
Ooh, what's in that bag? Oh, you got a whole lot of mine.
Oh, that's actually hentai. You can have this back.
Oh, no, I'll take that.
I doubt they'd ever be able to find us. Our voices are pretty different on the podcast, so.
Yeah, I changed my voice. My real voice is like really high pitched.
My real voice sounds like your grandmother.
When I go to Comic-Con, I'll just be like, hey guys, there's so much going on here. It's amazing.
So loud, people literally stop talking around you.
They'll just be like, what is that voice? Hey,
Why is there a small child
how
speaking?
much is this?
And there's some guy from one corner of the Comic-Con. It's Weez. It's Weez.
I'm like, oh
Runs through a wall.
There's only one wall in the convention hall.
Exactly.
no. Jumps
That'd be
like through
terrifying.
one of the booths of like people's merchandise, like crawling over the shelf.
He's crawling on top of people.
The last year I went to Comic-Con, I accidentally ended up behind some of the booths. I don't know how, but I was just
Dang.
back there and they're like, hi. I was like, oh, hi.
I didn't actually end up like that. I actually hid from Mandalorians like that
Yeah.
last time we went.
That's funny.
That's one reason why they took them a while to find me, because I'd like go inside one of the Comic-Con booths and like people look down at me and like, what are you doing? And I'd go, shh, and I'd point at one of the Mandalorians like, oh, okay, and then I'd go back
That's
to the
the
business.
last time I'm putting a bounty on you because they were starting to get mad.
No, some of them were. Not all of them, though. Like, the person who
Okay.
was leading it loved it.
But here's the thing. They sent out everybody
Yeah,
at
they
one
did.
point. Like, literally, we're sitting next to, like, we're sitting against the wall. Like, us, I think it was me, Weez, Ramen Cat, Wolf, stuff like that. We're all
Yeah.
sitting against the wall. And we just watched them all march out of the
amazing.
booth.
Yeah.
We're like, what have we done?
I recorded that on my phone. There's just a line of them just like dun, dun, dun,
The
dun,
only
dun.
reason why they
Okay.
caught me is because Mix Nazi came out to me and was like, you know, you should probably let them catch you by now. I was like, but why, man? It's so much fun. Yeah, but they gotta like move around and all the armor and all. And I was like, oh, you're making me feel bad now.
Actually, that armor's super light.
Well, that's not the way he made it sound. I think he was just sick of watching me run away. But no, the guy that like had them all gathered like came up to me and was like, you know, yeah, it took a while to catch you. We had a lot of fun. Thank you for that.
That's cool.
That's
So I was
great.
like, yeah, nice.
You're like, yeah, fun.
Yeah, most people give up within the first, like, minute because they feel bad or whatever.
Nah, I mean, I was like,
You're like, I
I was like, they want a bounty? I'm the bounty. Let's run.
You just run in the bathroom.
I think I was actually against the rules.
That is
Yeah.
against the rules.
There was like a certain area you're supposed to stay in.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could use the bathroom while you had the bounty, but you couldn't just hide in there.
yeah.
so-
You're just like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom so bad. But you have a bounty on you. Dang.
They're
it.
just all waiting outside of the bathroom.
Anyways, Lucky Star review.
That's what happened in Lucky Star. They went to a Comic-Con.
They did.
They did.
And then they also did their New Year's resolutions.
Well,
and
yeah, they did a New Year's thing. Konata apparently got bad luck, and we saw the cardboard cutout for the pink-haired girl at the end of Lucky
that was
Channel, and it was
amazing.
ignored.
She's like, I'm gonna be in the next episode, and then it's like she got
So-
sick.
stuff. Were we technically right then?
Yeah, we said that she would appear like in a back
Yeah,
corner.
we
Yeah,
unnoticed.
exactly. And
I-
it was literally in a back corner.
Yeah.
I figured she would. I wasn't exactly sure what they were gonna do, but doing that was amazing. Where
The
she
fact it
didn't
fell over, the
actually
thing was
appear.
broke.
And it just made the camera shot just switch straight to her and was just like, because she got sick, she will not appear. Just like her poster thing, and then the guy just like walks by and tips it over.
Breaks it in half. That was
That's
great.
amazing. That was so funny.
Oh, the jokes in this episode were really good.
They were.
good.
I enjoyed the jokes. What's her name? Not Kona. Yeah, is it Konata?
The blue-haired
Blue-haired
girl?
girl?
The blue hair
Yeah,
girl.
just Konata.
Her explaining the convention thing.
Just like a war movie that we're gonna go here. We're gonna have
That
this
just
supply
brought
depot.
back so many memories of me trying to like like navigate so many people through a convention.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, if you guys are going over there, we're gonna go over there. We all meet here at 1
yeah.
o'clock. Nobody meets there at 1 o'clock. You're waiting there for 2 hours. They finally show up, and you're like, "Where have you been?" It's like, "Oh, I forgot." And it's like, "Oh, cool. I've been waiting here for 2 hours."
Then everyone finally got a cell phone so we could call everyone.
I know.
Yeah, besides for
what's
half
nice.
of them don't keep their cell phone on.
Yeah.
That's true. Then it's like, oh, an hour ago he asked where I'm at. I'm here. Puts it away. Hour later.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why we'd have to. Isn't that why like last time we went, like grouped up together, made sure everyone that was in a group had a phone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
we
this
usually do
year,
that.
everybody that does not have a phone will have to be by somebody that has a phone.
Yeah.
And also, everybody has to have their phone on full ring and on. That's a requirement.
Everyone's just gonna hear a lot of. That'll work perfect for me because I just got a bunch of Steins Gate noises as my ringtones.
I literally just have Alucard saying, "How can I help you?"
I have Myris.
There you go.
That's actually perfect.
Yeah, I know.
Because we'll hear Tutoru, and since we're both cosplaying as Steins
Oh
Gate
yeah,
characters,
he'll just be like, Nani?
Mayuri, don't! You're my hostage. You're my hostage now.
I'm not Mayuri, I'm Kurapika.
anyways,
So it doesn't matter to me.
What do you guys think of the New Year's like skits?
It's pretty good.
Like the
It's
New
good.
Year's half of it. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know too much about New Year's in Japan and
Japan,
stuff.
yeah.
Well, that's why it's interesting because
There's a-
like we got more Japanese stuff.
Yeah, a lot of Japanese culture stuff. That's cool.
Like I knew they were really into like the fortunes and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but I didn't know like
They were
people-
that into it?
Yeah, that they were that into it. So and it's interesting to see that like people own like temples. Is that
Well,
how
I
that works?
think
It's
Or-
like basically
They like sponsor them. Or
your
something?
family is like your family has. There's families that like own the
Yeah.
shrines.
Okay.
They don't really own them. They more like take care of them. They're the shrine caretakers. And so like there's popular shrines and there's the unpopular shrines in the smaller
Right.
villages. And basically your family is delegated to taking care of the shrine for the entire family life.
Okay, that's interesting.
At least that's my understanding on it.
That's cool. No, it's really cool. I'm interested to see because now we're kind of going into like Christmas time and stuff like that. So that's gonna be interesting to see.
We passed Christmas. We're in New Year's.
Oh, we did. Right.
Christmas,
No, we're going into
Christmas,
Valentine's. That's why I meant
yeah.
Valentine's, which is gonna be interesting because I know Valentine's is a little bit different in Japan. So.
Yeah, basically there's a White Day and then there's Valentine's Day and there's White Day.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day is where the boys are like, here's a chocolate. White Day is where the girls give chocolate back.
Yeah. Sometimes the same chocolate.
Yeah, depending on how well she likes you.
Yeah. But no, that's gonna be interesting. And watching Lucky Star has been really cool for learning just like Japanese culture in general. Because it's not the weeb culture. It's sometimes a weeb culture, but a lot of
Yeah.
times it's just like normal Japanese
high school
living.
girl
Yeah.
culture.
Like even though Konata's like really big into all the anime stuff, it's cool that they do normal stuff too. Like
Right,
it's
like,
not that's
she's not a shut-in
literally all.
neat,
Yeah.
but like she's like, I don't know, she's kind of like us, where we're like
Yeah.
big into like nerd culture and stuff like that, but like or geek culture.
But you still go shopping and whatever.
Yeah, I go
like-
shopping and work. Unfortunately,
I think that's what's interesting about Lucky Star is most storytelling, like in everywhere, it picks out the most like ridiculous kinds of things.
it
Yeah.
takes out the mundane stuff.
It goes for the most like absurd things, you know,
Yeah.
with like American action movies just being ridiculously over the top. Like
He hasn't
Right.
reloaded
unrealistic.
after like 24 rounds.
Yeah, and then like dramas are just like the most dramatic, like horrible things happen.
Yeah.
So for a show like Lucky Star, that's just like very casual, normal life with
Yeah.
just like the biggest highs, just being like I accidentally shocked someone with like static electricity.
Right.
It just like makes those things interesting.
It is a
And
true
so-
slice of life.
Even
Yeah.
like the high speed like car chase.
Yeah.
Like we learned is like only
was
25
really
miles
slow.
an hour.
Yeah, and it's just like them being scared because of how she's driving kind of recklessly
Yeah.
or whatever.
like that's
So-
great.
Yeah.
We find out that the actual speed limit in Japan is 15 miles no matter what road
Yeah.
you're on there. She was going 10 miles over speed limit.
I mean, most of it is mountain road, so I
Yeah.
might be surprised.
I mean, most of Japan's so crowded you can't even take a
Yeah.
car anywhere.
But yeah, so I mean, there was a bunch that happened in this episode, but a lot of it was just kind of one skit after another. So
Yeah.
like we had the convention skit, and that was kind of like the big joke about how hectic
Yeah.
conventions.
There
and
was
stuff
the
can be.
continuing joke of that one business that was there with like the
Yeah, the comic
employees
book
that
store.
are all like
Yeah.
super over the top.
Yeah.
There was the one girl that like picked up the ecchi magazine.
Yeah, the older
Yeah.
twin sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Getting super embarrassed. I think she stole that magazine because
I
it
don't
really
think so.
looked like she kept the magazine
think-
and just ran away.
I think she set it down.
Did she?
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure she sat it down, yeah.
But yeah, she's just like looking at it, getting more and more embarrassed, and the person just like, that'll be 500 yen. It's like,
This
no,
is too
thanks.
much for me.
That'd be great. She just turns into a JoJo character.
And the other guy, the overtop guy's like, oh, she's copying us.
Yeah. The over the top guy was great. The two like aspiring like artists or whatever that were like writing something, and then
yeah.
Konata comes up and just like it's like, oh, if she buys this, then we'll get popular, whatever. It's like needs more work, puts it down, walks away.
And they're just crying. Oh.
No, they're like, don't cry.
Yeah.
They're like, don't
Well, the
cry.
way I was
don't
crying, the other one was like, don't cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
It's like we'll do better next year.
Yeah, that was great. That was amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the show. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was really enjoyable episode.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Valentine's episode because I'm sure that's gonna have some wild stuff in it.
Lonely.
I'm really interested in the one of the latest episodes. I saw the thumbnail and it's just a giant anime girl. Looks like she's fighting against tanks and soldiers.
I told you,
So,
people die.
I don't know what's going on there, but I'm willing to see what's
we'll
going to be
find
there.
out.
I'm guessing it's going to be like a video game or something.
The show is almost like a parody of people who are like really big in like big otaku type people.
Yeah.
It's almost like just made to make fun of those people.
Wait a minute, those are us.
Yeah.
Not quite as like worse than us.
I don't know. I was watching when I was watching, I saw the people go and file out. Hey, that's us.
Okay, worse
That's us
than
right there.
me.
That's us.
Like literally
But-
like they showed like they showed several type of people at the Comic-Con
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh,
I've seen all
That
those
was me.
people there. I love how it's just like the super busy booths, and then the ones that with just like small artists that there's just nobody there. It's like,
oh,
this
I've
is very
walked down
realistic.
Artist Lane so many times at Comic-Con. I'm just like, I feel bad for all of
Yeah,
you.
it's like,
I
this is
started
depressing.
avoiding that
yeah.
because there are some people like, hey, want to check this out? I was like, oh, no, you can't really say no.
you
some-
look at it and
like-
it's just like some like young adult like vampire like
Some of them
Vampire
are actually
Diary-esque.
cool.
Some of them are.
It's
Some of them are really cringe.
I was
sometimes.
cosplaying Yukine, and this guy was like, "Oh, hey, I've got some," and I think I was with Ramen Cat, who is cosplaying Yato.
Yeah.
And we walked by like an artist thing, and the guy was like, "Hey, I've got you guys in here," and he like found a Norigami like artwork, the art piece that he did, and it was
Yeah.
actually good. It was like, "Oh, that's cool."
biggest thing you do have to learn is how to ignore people, especially
Yeah.
when you're walking down like where they made their own like manga and stuff. Because if you make eye contact with them after they say, "Hey, you want to check this out?" You're kind of
Yeah.
obligated at that point to
A
check
lot of
them
them
out.
need to do better at that too, because some of them will invite you over and just be like, "Hey, you want to check this thing out?" And other people just say nothing. It's like, I'm kind of interested in what you do, but you don't seem interested in what you do.
Like me and Mick Snazzy were kind of roped into looking at this one girl's manga she made. It was interesting, but like I didn't have the money to spend on it, so I didn't
Yeah.
feel like I should be there because I couldn't buy anything even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was always awkward in that situation, whereas McSnazzy is like, yeah, our friends are over there. I was like, oh, all right, thanks, McSnazzy. I wasn't thinking that time.
I once got
Yeah.
caught up in a rant about Game of Thrones for 15 minutes. And McStazzy Pants was the only one to come back and save me.
Yeah,
I could not get away from this guy. I tried walking away and he was like, "Oh, hang on a second." And I'm like, "Let me go."
he's pretty good at weaseling people out of the scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually when I'm shopping, it's not too bad because I know like they want me to buy something
Yeah.
and I'm totally fine just walking away. But like sometimes it's like I'm kind of interested in getting this thing. I don't want it that badly though. And then this person just looks like they do not want me to talk to them. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I guess I won't give you money
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Where I've literally gone up to a booth and the person's like doodling on something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Oh, hi, how's it going?" They're like,
Yeah, it's like
"Oh, okay, I guess I'm not looking at your
it's
stuff
like
now."
if you don't care about what you're doing, then I'm not gonna care about what
Yeah.
you're doing. But
Yeah.
some people are just like, like the guys at the steampunk like area or
Yeah.
whatever that they'll just like talk about it and stuff. It's like you guys are into what you're doing and it's cool.
The
Yeah.
steampunk area is always fun.
People need to learn to be good salespeople
Yep.
when they're like, especially artists and stuff. I don't think they realize how to do that very much because they just sit at home and
I'll say, the
work
thing
on their
is,
art
there are
or
a bunch of
whatever.
antisocial
Yeah.
people that are trying to sell their
So
product.
it's
That's
like,
never good.
You've got to get better at.
Well, there's like that joke in the Lucky Star episode with the two sales guys.
Yeah.
Like they're trying way too hard to like sell something.
Yeah.
So they're like, we know all of our special stuff sold out, but we can sell them this like backup stuff from
Yeah.
3 years ago. It's like, let's do it.
Yeah. So
Which I guess in Comic Cons, at least around us in America, like you don't really see stuff sell out.
Well, ours
Yeah.
isn't that big. If we went to a bigger one
Ours-
like in
yeah,
Traverse
ours
City
is
or
pretty
LA,
small.
we would probably see stuff like
yeah.
that.
I'd love to go like New York or LA or something like that.
yeah, those ones are crazy big.
That'd be sweet.
Just
But yeah.
get a little string, tie each other together. That way we would never lose each other.
Clothesline people while walking through.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
All right, well, I guess with that, we're going to end the episode.
Sounds
'cause
good.
I think we're all out of energy and talking ability. So,
Bye, Nick.
Bye.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't vomit on that.
anyways, if you like this episode, if you found enjoyment through this episode, give us a like, like that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment on YouTube. Or you can also just give us a review on podcast episodes on Google. No, not Google. iTunes.
Apple. Yeah.
And only iTunes.
We are Baka-Talk.
Why is it only iTunes that has reviews?
I
for
don't
podcasts?
know, because for some reason they actually have like an idea of how to make a podcast like thing, where everyone else is just like, I don't know, I guess it's like audio.
They're listening
Yeah.
to it. Who cares?
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
I think
Anyways,
it's really dumb.
Yeah, you
more
can-
and more things need to do that.
Yeah.
you can review us on iTunes, as well as there is another site that's meant for just podcasting, which is called Podchaser. We are on that, and you can totally leave us a review, and you can follow us on that if you want. But you do what you want.
We're Baka-Talk Studios on YouTube.
Yes.
The best BTS you'll ever find.
Yeah. There you can also see our playthrough of Steins Gate, the visual novel.
It's so fun.
It's amazing.
Within the next, we have Comic-Con coming up, so we might be able to
Probably.
squeeze in another episode within this month, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have
It's
anything.
gonna
I mean,
this
this month
Saturday.
just
I
started.
don't.
What?
I don't have
month
anything this
just
Saturday.
started.
I do. I'm working this Saturday, and I also have another podcast recording in the two. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to it eventually.
Yeah. But anyways, you can also follow the podcast on Twitter at TalkBaka. There you can keep up to date with the podcast and what we're doing. So
Won't we be playing Steins Gate at Comic Con?
playing Steins Gate
Yeah.
at Comic-Con? No.
Why not? You know that in real life, I can like go to the top floor and run down, and I'd be like, Daru, there's a thing up there.
I'm sure there will be moments like that, but I don't plan on role playing that much.
I do.
That
I
seems
can
kinda
just be
weird.
depressed. That's all I
Well,
gotta do. I gotta
we
be
just
depressed.
spoiled what your cosplay is, so now people are gonna find you.
Oh, is Daru?
Yeah, you're Daru and he's Okabe.
I mean,
I didn't say that I was Okabe.
well,
you
I
look-
just
you
did.
just-
Does it matter?
I could've
Nobody's
been
gonna
Mayuri.
find us. Anybody that's gonna be listening to this will not even. They're probably not even listening at this point.
Because
Yeah.
you're saying that, they're just gonna be. Just because you're saying this, just watch. Just watch. Just you
Well, I'm
watch.
cosplaying Kurapika, so if I see someone who is cosplaying as a Phantom Troop member, I'm just gonna straight up murder them.
Okay.
You know, just to role
Challenge
play.
accepted.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then for the last thing, with the podcast, you can also, if you have any questions or any feedback, you can send it through email at askbakatalk@gmail.com.
Yeah.
So, with that done, Pyrolis, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter, Pyrolis2. I am there. I am square. I may or may not be fair.
Okay. In Weez, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at KBWAuthor and on Instagram at KBWAuthor and on YouTube, KBW.
Wrestling.
No.
KBW Wrestling.
Search KBW Anime and I'll show up somewhere.
And someday you'll be bigger than KBW Wrestling.
Hopefully. Also,
I'm
you
gonna
could go to
pump
my
so many views on
Twitter.
KBW
If you
Wrestling.
go to my Twitter or my Instagram, you can find links to my YouTube. And
Sounds
YouTube's where I
good.
mostly do stuff.
You can find me, Sir Boom, at Twitter at SirBoom9. You can also find me on another podcast called Look Behind You.
It's a juice.
Where we talk about the
The
paranormal.
IRS?
No, the paranormal, the supernatural, and everything in between. So in between that, yes, the IRS would be included.
I see.
So yeah, we just talk about cool cryptids, monsters, and mysteries. So yeah. And with that, any final words from our co-hosts?
Bye, me.
Jam meow.
All right then. See y'all later.